What's up, everybody? Welcome to Backstage with Ian and Joel. How's it going, Joel?
Dude, it is going all right. It's been, let's face it, it's been really intense couple of weeks because I've just been praying to the altar of World Cup. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
most of my time has gone into that. But
Yeah,
I'm actually shocked during World Cup, you and I we've had a couple of great guests and
absolutely
done some really fun work. So I'm really grateful about that, because I feel like we're starting to establish that this is actually good work. And he's not available currently. And I think we're establishing that we're doing really good work, and it's serving an underserved community, which we're part of. So
and
I'm happy with the episodes lately.
Yeah, me too. Very happy with how Jen's episode came out. It was fun to talk to Tom and Ethan, and the Adrian episode. If you didn't hear that, that was one of our super early ones. That was a great one too.
Well worth revisiting.
Yeah, we're still getting our sea legs, but we're trying to figure this out, and I think we're kind of dialing it in. It's been really fun to touch on a lot of different topics. We had talked about doing an episode today about is touring broken, and the more we kind of talked about it and thought about it, it felt like it needed to be a series of episodes and not just one episode, because we want to provide a perspective from multiple angles on this. We want to have somebody who's in a touring band, somebody from a venue, a booking agent, tour manager. We want to get a lot of perspectives here because we want to have like an actual conversation about this.
Yeah.
And not just like throw the question out and then move on.
Yeah, we're not here to interject our agenda anyway.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna put some work into that concept and that thought and turn it into a series maybe for the fall or something. We're not exactly sure yet, but we're gonna work through that. In the meantime, we've got some awesome guests that we've got slated to come up in the next couple of weeks. And, it's the slow season for the music industry right now. It's the peak of summer. I mean, if you're in the Northwest, especially, why the hell do you want to go into a venue when it's really sunny outside for like
summer? Or
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a genuine thing that venues need to consider when booking shows. We have run into, you and I, throughout our careers, bands wanting to play at 7:30, and it's like, okay, well, the sun doesn't go down until 9:30. No one's going to come to your show when it's sunny outside.
Yeah.
So a lot of venues in the Northwest, at least that I've worked at, we have summer hours where doors open later, shows start later, because it sounds crazy, but if it's sunny outside and the band's on stage, it's gonna be like pulling teeth to get someone inside.
No, it's hard, especially in this region. It's definitely hard. I'd be interested to see how it is on a day-to-day basis in other places.
That would be pretty interesting, because we're talking about how to make the venue darker during the day, like so it doesn't feel like it's sunny outside.
Right. I mean, that's if you're trying to get daytime traffic, that might be a good thing.
Yeah.
There used to be a time where like the darker the bar, the better the getaway. And I feel like some gaming places or pinball places, like when they do the whole super darken it all out and disassociate from the outside world, it's your getaway. So it's not
like a movie theater in the summer.
Exactly. Most
Um,
basic answer, I guess.
okay, before we go any further, make sure you like and subscribe. Post a comment on the YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those places. But yeah, make sure you share this out. And we're really trying to get our YouTube numbers up. So subscribe on YouTube. I think we're almost at 70, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for us, we're chugging away.
We started at 0, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah. What from the last few episodes that we've had, is there something that's kind of stuck with you? I know last week we talked to Jen about a bunch of stuff. We talked about selling merch, venue management, and box office stuff.
Yep.
And I think that was all really good. Talking to Tom about how, an all ages nonprofit venue, like make their living, or like not make their living, like survive through volunteers and people being engaged in the venue space.
By the way, the sorry to interrupt, but the volunteers clip was like the most popular or the second most popular clip.
No, that was cool.
Just wanted to point that out.
No, yeah, that I noticed that too. That was awesome. And then we had Ethan on, who's a bartender. And we talked about, what bars can do
Venue
bartenders. So what venue bars can do to increase sales. And on an interesting thing, we had a meeting after that episode, and we were kind of talking about stuff. And I guess from what I was told, at Neva, a lot of venues have moved beyond the conversation of how can we get people to drink more or buy more things to how can we generate income in other ways.
Yeah.
So they're not even trying to get people to go back and drink more again, because that ship has sailed. It's beyond that.
I think that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
The people that are that are still trying to figure out what the hell happened are grasping at straws, because the longer this period of time lasts, the further away, it's like anything. The longer time goes by, the less chance you have of going back and figuring shit out. That'd be like, detective work or whatever. And I even on that episode, I was really trying to see if Ethan had an idea of what other income generators there could be. But you know what the problem was? I even think about where I kind of fell short. I was only thinking about beverages. I didn't even think about you have to go way beyond that. Now you have to go. Beverages is no longer your sole provider. It's not. It can't be. So
and I've been doing a lot of research on this, just looking at what a lot of venues around the country are doing, and something that, to be honest and to be frank, Dana at El Corazon has been doing VIP membership thing. There's a lot of venues that are looking into this, and it
helps
can
generate extra
cash and creates like a brand loyalty. Like if you're choosing between two places, but you have a VI, or if you have a membership to one, you're going to go to that one. Most likely.
I think I just want to pitch that. And he's way ahead of it on that game, but also I think nonprofits like Tom's, should get into that kind of. I don't know what Tom's does. I haven't. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying all nonprofit bases like Real Art, or Vera Project, or all that should consider this, because and they have even more to offer, because they could do package deals like show tickets as well as classes. You can choose one of 3 classes, and then they can do shadow. They have a lot to offer. They have a lot. And I would hate for people to just spend their money on VIPs at like clubs or whatever, or same old, or even corporate, big entities. Without maybe looking to see first if in their and I don't mean to say that those aren't fine. They're fine. You get
Right. Yeah.
quality shows, but they should look in their areas to see if there is like a Real Art or a Vera or any of those
Yeah.
kind of things to just to support and and maybe get their kids. There's band camp already, so
Exactly. Get involved in there.
get maybe some kids to learn how to be front of house and lighting. And I think it seems to me like a Real Art, because they offer all that, right? So
Yep.
then it could be, you can do like package it and be like,
Mm-hmm.
because I think I'm glad that you guys are talking about that, because you're right. Now that you're talking about it, I mean, like I said, it didn't even hit me when we did the episode, but it hits me now. You
Yeah.
got to do way more than just like you were saying earlier in our earlier conversation about being open for only 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And having to pay 24-hour a day rent. It's like,
Exactly. You got to come up with creative ways to do this. And I have a membership to the Pickford Film Center up here in Bellingham, and because I have this membership, if I think about going to a movie, it's literally the only place I think about going. I don't want to go to the big
right,
theater. I want to support,
membership.
first of all, I want to support a local entity. So regardless of whether you have a Real Art or a Vera project where you are, support a local business, a local club, a local bar, whatever. But like there's membership tiers here for the Pickford Film Center, and you get awesome things. Like you get discounts on tickets and popcorn, and on Mondays you get free popcorn, which is amazing, to go to a movie on a Monday and they
awesome.
just give you popcorn, which is like awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
so like all these venues can do
cool
stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be more and more popular, because unfortunately less and less people are going to shows. Less and less people are spending money once they're at the show. And so I think small independent businesses and venues specifically are going to have to get creative. And
Yeah.
and it's like a new world now, post COVID. People aren't drinking. People are trying to figure out a new way forward. Bands are too. So how do the bands benefit from these types of things too? So like if the venue has a membership, how is the band benefiting from that? That's also a conversation that I don't know the answer to. So
I mean, there, with the cost of fuel, I think bands need to, at this point, you find them, they have to make up a loss right there. Just when the cost of fuel went up,
yeah,
whatever that amounts to, and what they spend per year,
yeah,
they immediately losing that much more money, just
yep,
out of the gate without even lifting a finger. So
yeah,
now they have a shortfall that they need to make up for.
mm-hmm.
And I know this is, sorry if this is too much, like this is tour manager Joel getting all mother hen like, but anyway,
yeah,
so they have this shortfall to make up for. If they're doing their work right, they should be calculating how much money they spent on gas last year and how much it was versus now, and then whatever the money differential is a shortfall. If they're still an active touring band, then they're that much further in the hole. So
yeah,
they've got to start finding. Then the thing is, they're already doing VIP meet and greets.
yeah.
They're doing merch, putting the massive focus on merch.
Yep.
So where else?
Yeah.
What else do they do? Where else do they go? Like,
and at some point, people are going to be, and at some point, fans are just going to be stretched so thin they don't have the extra money to
they
put towards 50 memberships and stuff.
Right.
It's like,
I saw that firsthand at the bar side of some of the venues I recently worked at in the last few years, and they just keep, and I'm going to say the last few years, like 10 years, and the answer was raise the price a little bit, raise the price a little bit, raise the price a little bit, And it's like, yo, at a certain point, you're going to strangle your customer into making a choice like, okay, only 2 beers, not 3 tonight,
Right. Exactly.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
They have to go in the door worrying. So, because they still only have the same money, and, if they always I've known people that do this. I when I'm when I'm when I'm being a smart person, I do this. I take back in the day of cash, that was great about it. You just take whatever your limit's going to be,
Yeah.
and I would take like $40 on a weekday just to go to a show.
Yep.
I was just going to go see a touring band or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a couple of beers, so I would take $40,
Yep.
buy a shirt and a
Yep.
couple of beers out the door. But
Yep.
that's
It- it-
not all that anymore. Now it's like I bring my credit card for the merch,
yeah.
and then whatever pocket money I have goes for. Well, I don't drink, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I would,
Yeah.
all I'm trying to say is it's not all going
Yeah. And
hard.
talking about the bars and the bar prices and stuff, it makes me think of a conversation we were having recently, um, about how, like when I first started booking a lot of touring bands, they were sponsored by beer companies, and like Jägermeister was sponsoring like the Toasters tours and stuff like that. And like
Yeah,
PBR would do like event series and stuff, and they'd be like, here's
yeah,
money, find a band and do a show. That money's gone now. That's another, like, it's not
PBR
there
ain't
like
there.
it used to be.
Yeah, PBR used to like come to a club and give them money.
Yeah.
Say, all right, you're gonna be part of our whatever promotional series,
Yeah.
and we're doing 4 shows. So here's the dates available, and then it would give you like back then it was like $1,500, but it really is like 3,000 now.
Yeah.
Um, you know, to actually the last time I got money from PBR to throw a show, they gave me 3,000, so which would
Damn.
be more like 5,000-6,000 now. Anyway,
Yeah.
and you hire good bands or bands that will bring people because that's the whole
Yeah.
point. PBR
Yep.
is throwing a party, so but the problem is, that's all gone. I'm
Yep.
just talking through it because that's how I'm trying to illustrate how it used to be.
Yep.
And that's it's gone. But the real focus is what what do people come up with next? Because
Exactly. Because the festivals are gone, like the way they used to be. Like,
yeah,
especially around here, we had like
and festivals
Sasquatch
are
and these
starting
other
to
big festivals.
festivals are starting to their trajectories going the
And we had Warp Tour, which for the summer was like a thing for a lot of young bands to jump on. And now, like those tours aren't necessarily all coming through anymore on their own. Because I remember when Warp Tour like went away, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, well they're just going to all come tour on their own." It's like, well, I don't know that that's really happening.
a lot of bands wouldn't have, a lot of bands, especially
But
bands from places that have less access, you
yeah,
know. Yeah. They,
I don't
they,
know. There's a lot of weird shit happening, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk to and just brainstorm. I don't know the answers. I don't even necessarily know what's going on all in all of these things, which is why we like to have people like Jen and Ethan and Tom on to talk about these things that we don't
yo,
know the nuts and bolts about
and
necessarily.
Adrian, by the
And
way.
Adrian, exactly, for sure.
Adrian is
Like,
a freaking no, but see, I think all this talk is going to eventually lead back to our original point,
mm-hmm,
community,
mm-hmm,
and because if these entities you can't like rely on external entities to like carry your scene for you. You got to do it
yep,
yourself. And
yep,
Adrian and Tom, you know, I think everybody we've had on the show understands that and
yep,
actually participates in that at some level
yep,
or not. But the point is like you you have to the more the more certain people get squeezed out of what's going on over here, let's say,
mm-hmm,
the more they're going to come over here and
mm-hmm,
carve their own niches.
yep,
And I mean, that's where all this came from. You
yep,
know, I'm I'm fortunate to be old enough to be an early '80s punk rocker. Yes, I am a
Yep.
dinosaur. Um, it no, but think about it. What did I see? I saw these bands start out from conception to then like breaking through into the mainstream, and Circle Jerks won the first gold record, and all
Hmm.
this, and then going all the way, and then in the '90s it was, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was commercialized. It was commercialized,
Hmm.
and it was a raw, do it yourself, total DIY scene in the '80s. It got commercialized. I mean, let's face it, in a lot of ways, in good ways, like, because nothing sounds better with skateboarding than punk rock. So, popular. I mean, that's
Yep.
happened. And so for better or worse. But the point is like, how far can I was thinking about this today, is how far can I think all like music that's not like technical metal or beyond, or I think a lot of the music that goes pop now comes through the punk rock pipeline one way or the other. Either
Mm.
it's simplicity, it's structure. I'm not saying all these bands were punk at one point or another. I'm just saying like that the origin story is usually through that.
Mm.
I watch bands that play on keyboards that I'm like, holy shit, they're playing punk. So what
Mm.
I'm trying to say is with this is that had a scene, self-supported scene for years and years and years and years, decades.
Hmm.
And then unfortunately it's kind of like all kind of melded into other stuff. But I think what's going to happen is
I
some
think it's
of that same ilk of the early
yeah.
'80s or late '70s, rather, let's get real, is going to be carved out of it, of the whole
Yeah, I
thing.
think it's a cycle. It's coming back around now because it's been so commercialized, pushed to the limit. People are like, I
Yeah.
can't afford these tickets to whatever the fuck. So people and I can't, and the venues are being, the local venues, the small venues are being squeezed out,
Yeah.
like you said. So alternative spaces are popping up. And I think I've talked about this before, but like
We have,
Bellingham has a skate park under a bridge where they throw shows,
yeah.
which is fucking cool. And the city knows about it. It's part, like
Yeah.
they embrace it. They're like,
Yeah.
this is cool.
Yeah.
Like,
And, other cities are doing it. But if you're from a place that is talking about doing it, hasn't done it, do it, man. Start it. Do
just
your
fucking
own.
do it. Don't
Your own
ask for
things,
permission.
throw your own
Just do
shows.
that
You
shit.
see it all over the country. You see people doing it. It's not like
Yeah.
we're ahead of the curve here.
No.
But if anybody is thinking about it or hesitant or worried about fallout, fuck that, dude. Just do it.
Yep.
I do want to say with that, I did want to point out real quick on our comments on the YouTube page. There's been a few cool comments, like people talking about, like one person. I wish I would have written everybody's names down, but they're pretty easy to find. But one person made the comment of all shows should be $5 and $10. Not be anything other than 5 and 10. I go, that works for a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, it's not going to work for everybody. You got to
Yeah.
figure out costs. How much does it cost to throw the show?
Yep.
Volunteer run, you might be able to do some of that.
Yeah.
I think some, but I mean that's the whole point. Where can you do it? Don't wait for someone with $10,000 a month rent to pay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do it yourself,
Yeah.
because
House show.
I liked, and I told them, I go, I like what you're right. That's how you get people to come.
Yeah.
Is, hey, we're doing $10 rock shows right here. And that, it'd be like every weekday show, $5, every weekend, $10, And I think people, that would work. But the problem is you can't ask clubs that are already existing that have to pay a whole shit ton of money to exist to dial it back to that, to do that,
Yeah.
because it's just not going to pay anything. Okay.
Yeah. It's
I
tough.
think you're better off getting, access to youth halls, anywhere you can get access to a free space, and just
Yeah.
throw your shows and do $5-10 and give all the money to the bands and to whoever brought the
Yeah.
gear.
Do a house show. just do a house show. You don't even it can just be donation based and
Yeah.
start playing
So
shows. Start
I'm gonna
at
go
that
back on that.
level.
I want to go back on that comment and update that because I
Yeah.
said, all I said was, I can see it working at some level, but I don't see it working at all levels. But now that I've thought about it a little more,
Yeah.
the levels it won't work at are the people that are already entrenched. Okay, every club that's open right now is not going to be able to do that because of the rent,
No, like
cost, labor.
that
It's
inflation is
unrealistic. But if you're down with starting a volunteer space
yeah.
and getting together with your
Experiment.
friends, do it. Yeah. And then that $10 can go a long way to, in that essence. But
Yeah.
that's a lot. Every great scene I feel like has started that way. And but I did want to, point that out. Oh, the other thing I said on the comments was um I I did go ahead and offer this up, Ian, without telling you, but I said that basically to look in the coming months for us to do more focus on alternative spaces.
Yeah.
I'm actively looking out and I actively have a list of spaces I want to, well, you and I will just have to go over in our production meeting and, because I think it seems to be the key of what we're always talking about, right? And and it's totally back to that whole book your own fucking life, thing. It's like
Mhm.
you more than ever, you got to do it this way.
Yeah. And it's not an easy way to get in, but it's the first step. If you want to see how this kind of works, even just doing a house show or finding some small ass venue to throw a show at, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn a lot just from doing that.
Yep, but
And
also
then work, yeah, volunteer
volunteer at
at
all
your
ages
local.
spaces. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and mostly that was. Oh, and I did want to, I know we only have a few minutes, so I just wanted to retouch on. I like the idea of, is touring broken as a series, and I
Yeah.
also think that there's going to be. I think that'll spawn the possibility of other series because I've been
Yep.
kind of like brainstorming some, and so maybe after we do our first one, we can do a poll or something, see how people like it. But
Yeah, I think that's awesome because it's hard to do a lot of work on something and only do like a
yeah,
hour-long episode and be like, "Shit, there's so much more stuff we
yeah,
wanna talk about."
yeah. Well, the series, the cool thing about it is we could really focus it and keep it
Mhm.
focused so that we can keep the time limit. You know,
Yeah.
we can really. It depends. We can do it one of two ways, right? It could be an open conversation that lasts 2.5 hours, or but I think you know, I don't know. Well, obviously, you and I
Yeah,
have talked.
we'll figure that out, but
It
to
needs to be
tie
like
into that,
focused,
like
very focused.
yeah, I think to get the most out of it, it needs to be focused. And then the other thing that you and I wanted to talk about is eventually we're gonna start doing, like, instructional guides, and we've been talking about this for years, since
101.
back to, like, COVID times, we were
Yes.
talking about this when we didn't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Um, just and do you wanna elaborate on, like, what we're talking about as far as, like, a 101, like, an
Yeah.
instructional guide?
I call it 101s. It's basically the attempt is to approach all the different facets of running live shows and to start out by doing 101s, which would mean a basic class. And so, for instance, if you were going to do one, we will be doing one on talent buying,
Yep.
which will be taught by Ian because he is our resident expert. No, and he's got like years and years and years of experience. So, and he's also started from the very bottom and worked his own way through and started his own company. So and we're gonna have. I'm excited. I want to get too far ahead of myself, but he said he would do it. But our friend John, who runs a certain metal and punk club here, said he would love
Mhm.
to do one on production.
Cool.
For he's interested in the whole like, hey, let me show young bands when you come here for the first time
Yeah.
what's expected of you and what we're here to help you with, but
Yep.
also what's expected of you to do on your own. So he's interested in that. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm excited about about doing some of these. I think they'll go on. They can go on to lighting, stage
Yep.
hand. We're going to do all that. Some of it,
Sound, like, and the thing that I want to emphasize here is, like, just because we're going to be doing these guides and saying, hey, here's how we've done it, that's not to say it's the only way to do it, but the way we're going to approach these is like, here's the
yeah,
most general way these things are
yeah.
done, just so
It's
you know what to expect, and then obviously do whatever the hell you want, but the knowledge is out there,
yeah.
you know.
Well,
And
we can do stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
that's it.
but we can do stuff on also like advancing. Like, okay,
Mhm.
everybody might know about it, but there's certain questions that you should ask that
Yep.
will like get to the heart. That let you 3 questions. That will let you know what to expect from a place.
Yeah,
You know,
and
not
we'll be
everybody, not every place is the same. Every place is different.
exactly. And but there's certain things that I think, based on the conversations we've had with a lot of people that we've known for a very long time in this industry, like, here's how not to structure an email.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
make your font like 8. First of all, if I get an email that's like really fucking long and the font is really, really small, I'm like, I'm not reading this shit.
Sounds
I don't have
like
time for that.
sounds like Ian's gonna be doing some house cleaning around here. Yeah, but
No,
no,
just like,
I mean,
just little things.
I'm excited to do them, and everybody that you and I have told about them seem to be really receptive. So
Yeah.
look forward to those.
Yeah, and
Fucking
it'll be really fun. I
101.
think I think it'll be really fun to do these, and then to see what people say, because this is just our ideas. But maybe somebody will be like, "Hey, I do all that shit all the time and it's fine." And we'll be like, "Okay, cool."
It's not even supposed to be like this is how it's done. This is
No.
just everybody should have that much sense to know that what we're doing
Mhm.
is it's a very general overview
Just like,
and that's why it's called 101,
yeah. Like,
because it's
for
the intro.
example, like, if you're gonna play a show, make sure you figure out who's gonna pay you before you leave
Yeah, yeah.
ahead of time.
Before you
Like,
get drunk.
basic shit like that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah.
that'll be fun. Like,
I too. I wanna totally do some of those because we can do house man like getting like the things bands should do.
mhm,
I know we're gonna have tons of stories from different people we know that do these
mhm,
jobs that
mhm,
like have some house managers aboard and actually help tell people how things should work so that it's efficient for everybody. Like one of my things always is when I was a stage manager was the bands having consideration for each other. There's 15 minutes, but it's not your
right.
15 minutes. It's
Yeah,
7.5 minutes.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
going to change over, by the way.
Yeah,
So don't run 15 minutes and then, leave the other band hosed,
yep,
so, and communicate with each other and be like, hey man,
yep,
our setup takes 10 minutes. I'm sorry. We'll do our best. And, you'll see bands are more apt to like, oh, we'll help you or like, no problem, man.
or like, "Hey, let's all share gear ahead of time." That's like, honestly, like, I know that that's crazy to some bands, but
Yeah, yeah,
we encourage bands to communicate ahead of time, and a lot of times they're like, "Hey, you guys can use our drums, whatever. We wanna make set changes faster." It's not There's no pressure to have to do
yeah.
it, but it's a cool, like, thing that helps bands,
I'll never forget, like,
whatever.
uh, what?
No, 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 I just think,
Uh,
no, I mean, like, some bands wanna do it, some bands don't. It's
no, I know, I
just
know. I just wanted to point out a hilarious little anecdote about what you're saying, is that I remember one time I used to be pretty successful at getting when I was a stage manager, get bands to share, like, especially on
Yeah,
local with a touring band kinda thing,
sure.
and, then I went to where you and I started working together, and I think you remember me telling the story, telling them that I wanted to do stage management because I was watching from a security position, and I was just like, "Man, this show is moving like garbage." So,
Molasses, yeah.
yeah, so did that, right? And I remember having a big metal show and like 7 bands, and I was like,
Oh my
uh
god.
told these 3 bands, I go, "Well, what's your bass rig look like?" You know, and they're like, Ampeg SVT, Ampeg SVT. Everybody had an Ampeg SVT 810 cab, and I'm like, "What if we just put one of them up there?" And then everybody uses it. And the first time I was ever met with opposition to that was from metal bands, and I was like, I've been playing SVT, MPEG SVTs 810s my whole life, and I'll tell you, they're basically the same. They're rattly, bumpy fridges, you know, like
And you
it
know,
was it was
I'm
funny.
not here to say you have to share gear. That is not the expectation. But when you do, it can be a good way to collaborate between bands, and you know, the venue always appreciates it. The sound guy always, or sound person always appreciates
Yeah,
it.
and most important,
You can say
work it
no.
out ahead of time. Work,
Exactly. You
no,
can say no if somebody
yeah,
asks,
well,
"Hey, can
no,
we share gear?"
but check it out. Working at a small club, really
Mhm.
small club, like 200 cap, um, you know, they have way less room.
Yeah.
That'll actually force the issue if you get out ahead of it before when all the bands arrive. You know, I would always like be out there waiting and then talk to them and go, look, I don't know what everybody has, but I want you to see the space. But the most importantly was the space we didn't have for changeovers. There was
Yeah.
nothing. It was stage, and that's it. And then
Yep.
so bringing it up ahead of time and seeing if it's a concern for anybody, and if it is, and bands just would make arrangements amongst themselves.
Yep.
Most of the time, I never had to get involved, you know.
Yep.
But that's just because getting out ahead of the conversation, you know, and also trying to mention it in advances.
Yep.
That's, and this is again, please remember, everybody, this is 101. This ain't like, I know there's a bunch of people watching going, well, I know that. Good.
Okay.
So do I.
Yep. Cool.
but you know, it's just reminding people, and it's, you know, what we're trying to do here is reach out to everybody. You know,
Yep.
we're going to do content for people that have no idea what happens behind, you know, backstage at a rock show, all the way to people that actually dictate what happens
Yep.
backstage at a rock show. So,
Exactly.
so, but yeah, I'm glad you brought all that up, man. Like,
Cool.
it's,
Yeah, those I'm like really excited to like dig into those. So
yeah.
that'll be fun.
And we have, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say next week we've got a cool guest.
Yes, absolutely. You want me to take it from here?
Yeah, do it.
So next week we are going to have a very cool guest. His name is Nolan Bush. He works for the Crocodile, pretty infamous joint here in Seattle. Very famous place actually. That, you know, full on international touring acts all the time. They recently were sold. And their entire structure of how you know, how many venues they had and everything has changed, and so they reformatted. Basically, they've sold and they're being reformatted. And our next guest, Nolan Bush, who works at the Crocodile as security, spearheaded a group called Croc Solid. And what they did is, and I'll have to ask, we'll have to find out from him if this is like a unionization project, or was this just kind of like a way to work with the owners before they came in and implemented, you know, policy, right?
Yeah, I'm really interested to talk to
Yeah,
Nolan about this.
yeah, me too. I'm going to tell you right now, he came to us, I vetted it, and then found out that, you know, it was, not only is it, you know, is what it is what he said it was, but also, you know, I know people in my personal life who have worked with him, all stood up for him, so we're like excited to have him. And he's gonna come and explain to us basically what Croc Solid is doing. But I can tell you the brief synopsis is that they use the timing of the sale to get in there, wedge in, and get their issues, you
Nice.
know, known, right? And
Cool.
I don't want to put any words in anybody's mouth,
Yeah, we'll ask him
How
straight
the
up.
hell, I don't know if they weren't being listened to, or I don't know. I don't want to do that because
Yep.
I'm friends with a lot of people on all these sides. But what I do want to do is I'm excited to talk to him and let him tell us how you go, how this happened, and what what it is they're doing, what they hope to achieve in the future.
Awesome. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, dude, me too.
Cool. Well, this is a short one today, but
Yeah,
it's Friday. It's the slow season. I mean, come on. There's
it's really a recap, and then but talking about what we're going to be doing in the future.
yeah.
We've got some. We've got a lot of cool guests, and then we're going to do our series thing. So we're going to keep the weekly thing with the guests going, and then meanwhile, Ian and I will be formulating the first series,
Yep.
and we'll
Well,
tackle that. Um,
before we go, this
Want
was
to jam that
something.
in? Go for it, dude.
This is the last thing I wanted to talk about. I thought this was
Do it.
funny.
Do it.
Um, the I saw this today. Twin Temple got booted off Charlie Crockett's tour because they were satanic and their satanic imagery. And immediately Jack White was like, "Hey, do you want to open for me?" And they were like super stoked. So
So yeah,
I
they got kicked off one tour and got probably a better one. So that's
I
wild.
I just think it's hilarious that Charlie Crockett, he said he thought they were like Black Sabbath or something, is what I
Black
read. Just like their
Sabbath.
imagery or something, but I'm like, okay, dude, like
Dude,
that's
upside down
weird.
crosses, and they dress like
Yeah.
vampires, and it's like they're doing the whole. They're paying homage to the whole like 60s and 70s Italian horror stuff. Obviously, look at
Yeah.
their themes, man. It's
Yep.
all black. The fucking like really glamorized looking clothes and
Mhm.
makeup and everything, and then they do doo-wop classic or not classic, they do doo-wop in their own thing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hilarious and awesome. It's hilariously awesome. I don't know, we did a show with them when
Yeah.
when you were doing Take Warning more, and I thought it was, I mean, look, dude, I thought it I'm not going to call it a gimmick, but it's definitely a thing. It's an act,
Yeah.
it's an act.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And it's entertaining as hell. Satanic doo-wop, get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, I wanted to throw that in because
All
I
right,
forgot.
buddy. That
I
was fun.
forgot. I
Yeah.
honestly forgot about it, and then
That's
I was like, "Oh shit!"
I also had another part that we're not going to get to today, but we'll
All
talk
right.
about it later.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
make sure you like and subscribe. Instagram, it's Backstage with Ian and Joel. TikTok, same thing. Facebook, same thing. YouTube, same thing. Subscribe to the YouTube. Again, we're trying to get more subscribers on YouTube. For some reason, YouTube is it's tough. Talk to a lot of people. YouTube's tough.
It's like,
Um,
yeah, we just have to put the time in. And we just really just started. So
I know we did. This is
I
episode
mean,
6.
please help us out by liking and just subscribe, and we need
You
to get
never
this.
even have to like watch the show. Just subscribe. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Well,
Watch every episode.
basically, here's the deal with YouTube. You need to have at least 500 subscribers to like be a viable, considered like a channel to get like access to like more exposure and whatever, just to be treated better. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and translate the whole thing, but I read all the the fine print and stuff, and it's just you need 500 subscribers to be able to take the full advantage of YouTube. So I want that for the sake of our work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want this to reach as many people as possible. So if you can help us
Same.
out, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And
All right.
yeah, we've been more active on social media lately, so that's been good. I've been like chatting with a few people that way. It's been cool. So
Cool.
I think we just, we're gonna keep doing it. And sorry if sometimes we bug people a little too much, but we're just starting out.
Yep.
We'll get it figured out.
Yep. Just plugging
That's it.
away.
That's it.
Cool. All right, dude. Well, I will talk to you soon. Everybody, like and subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Do it now.
All right.
All right. All right. See you
Yeah. Yeah.
later.